We humans are part and a product of nature. For eons we evolved and coexisted with other life forms here on Earth and developed relationships with the nature around us. We looked at the stars to understand the seasons, cultivated crops to build societies, and domesticated other animals. In recent years, we have started to lose this connection with nature. Worldwide, humans are increasingly seeking urban lifestyles, and this urbanization reduces the access to green areas all around the world. Younger generations are also developing digital-based lifestyles which disconnect them further from nature. This ominous trend can be the source of social and individual-based physiological effects, and with humanity falling into the neologism of nature deficit disorders. Nature deficit disorders was coined by Richard Lau in the book Last Child in the Woods, and it refers to the phenomenon that humans are spending less time outdoors, resulting in behavioral and mental problems. It's not a mental disorder per se, but more a description of the cost of alienation from the natural world. We spend our time less and less outdoors, and that have an impact on the health. Estimates made show that we roughly spend 90% of our lives indoors. Other research has also shown that people living in cities are more prone to depression, mood disorders, and that it doubles the risk of developing schizophrenia. This is true even though infrastructure, socio-economic conditions, nutrition, and healthcare services are clearly better in cities than in rural areas. The explanation for this is given to increased levels of stress that people experience in crowded urban areas.
Well, I live in Copenhagen, which is a big city, but it's so small, so it kind of doesn't feel like a big city to me. It's busy during the summer, but it's kind of empty in the wintertime because it's so cold.
I really like living in a big city so far. I'm from a much smaller city, so it's nice to have access to so many different attractions and restaurants and things like that. I honestly think it positively impacts my health because I walk a lot more in the city than I do when I'm back at home.
Human has an innate need to affiliate with nature. This is commonly referred to as the biophilia hypothesis, a phrase coined by Edward O. Wilson in 1984, which means love of life or living systems.
The hypothesis explained that people have an unconscious urge to engage with nature from an evolutionary and biological standpoint. Because of this innate need, it is believed that engaging in relationship with nature is associated with both mental and physical benefits. This is broader examined in the scientific field called ecopsychology, which is about the relationships between human beings and the natural world and how this relationship influences our well-being. This branch seeks to examine how the well-being of human correlates with the well-being of natural environment. The theory of ecopsychology is based on the idea that the needs of human and nature are interdependent. Our health will suffer if nature does as well. This illustrates the importance of our connections to the natural world. Human interaction with nature isn't only an innate need, but also associated with various health benefits. Empirical evidence shows that interacting with nature delivers a range of measurable human benefits, including positive effects on physical health, psychological well-being, cognitive ability, and social cohesion. Research has shown that individuals who are highly connected to nature also report a higher sociological well-being, greater acceptance of self, and higher social well-being. It can also develop positive social attitudes to wildlife and biodiversity. If an individual feels connected to nature, they may be more inclined to care about nature and protect the environment. In the words of Stephen Jay Gould, we cannot win this battle to save species and environments without forging an emotional bond between ourselves and nature as well. For we will not fight to save what we do not love.
After a couple of days or a weekend in the nature, I would say I do feel less stressful. It's kind of like a getaway. Instead of being in the city where there's a lot of people and a lot of cars, I mean, I can run. We have like 3 lakes in the center of the city, but they say it's bad for your health to run around those lakes. So I usually go to my parents if I wanna be less stressed and go for like a nature getaway thing.
I feel great after spending time in nature. It's definitely relaxing and just takes your mind off of all the craziness of city life and everything going on. It's just a good time to relax.
Friluftsliv is a Swedish and Norwegian word for describing leisure outdoor recreational activity. There is no real definition because it's mostly a collective term describing any outdoor activity, organized or not, and it's more representing a broader philosophy. This philosophy embodies the idea of returning to nature is returning home. Friluftsliv can be loosely translated to free air life and is embedded in both the Swedish and Norwegian culture.
The fundamental principle is being outdoors in an easy and uncomplicated way. The Nordic countries have developed unique laws to make this viable, the so-called allemansrätten, which is translated to every man's right or freedom to roam. The freedom to roam is a cultural heritage and a constitutional right in Sweden and other Nordic countries. With allemansrätten, you have access to private land. Allemansrätten also brings obligation to the nature, because everyone must be part of taking care of it. The underlying principle is easy: do not disturb and do not destroy. With this philosophy, people in Sweden and Norway has free access to the land, which manifests how people are connected with the nature around them.
Shinrin-yoku, founded in Japan in the 80s and now spreading around the globe, is a term that literally means taking in the forest atmosphere or forest bathing. Japanese believe that Shinrin-yoku can be either a way to prevent people from getting ill, but can also be used as a healing medicine. According to several researchers, spending time under the canopy of a living forest has serious health benefits on humans. Just walking into a forest or a natural area such as a park could have a restorative and calming impact. For a long time, this benefit that nature can have on humans couldn't be proven, but nowadays a lot of scientific studies demonstrate the mechanisms behind the healing effects of simply being in wild and natural areas. Among others, some of the proven benefits of Shinrin-yoku can be a boosted immune system functioning, a reduced blood pressure, reduced stress, an improved mood, and an increased energy level.
Connecting with nature is for everybody. You might not find the same things relaxing or exciting as your friends do. There's an endless amount of possibilities for you to get out in nature. It all comes down to finding an activity that fits you and your needs, so that you'll find the relaxing effect nature can have in your mind and your body. In this step-by-step guide, we will show you some of the possibilities you have. Step 1. Wake up. Brush your teeth. Look out the window and dress properly for the weather and activity you plan to do. Step 2. Open your door and step outside. Step 3. Turn your phone on silent so you don't get disturbed. Step 4. You are now ready to decide which outdoor activity you want to do. Here come 3 great ideas to get your mind off your busy everyday life in the city. Idea number 1. Go for a walk in the park. It's easily accessible and do not take a lot of energy. Idea number 2. Go to the beach. In Sydney it won't take you long to get there, and once you're there you decide for yourself whether you want to relax in the sun or spend some energy surfing or playing volleyball. Idea number 3. Go for a hike in the mountains. It takes a little more time to get there, and you might have to put more energy in it. That said, the view is always amazing. Step 5. Get home and feel delighted and relaxed. Of course, there are a ton of other ways to connect with nature. Everything between outdoor yoga to skydiving. Nature can have a relieving effect on everybody's mind, whether you find it in the adrenaline pumping extreme sports or the more down-to-earth activities. It's all about getting out there and explore the endless possibilities. So now that we have showed you how being outside in the nature can have a positive impact on your health, you only have one question left. What are you waiting for?
I feel connected with nature. I guess there's a lot of nature in Denmark where I grew up, but I live in the center of Copenhagen, and we do have some lakes and stuff, but it's not like I can live without nature.
I do feel connected with nature every time I'm just walking outside and it's a beautiful day and I notice the sun shining, or I go on a hike or anything like that, and I think we're very lucky to have such a beautiful planet.